Today's topic is important because I feel like many kids, they approach the gym and then they always leave, and the reason why they do these type of things is because they expect higher results than what they get or what they can get. So today with my sort of personal trainer now, we're gonna, and business partner and much more, not much more.
Yeah,
Well,
of course I'm much more. I'm
Yeah.
the top G, the man himself.
Okay. So George, let's get into it straight away. I have been doing gym for so much time. I started when I finished middle school and I was probably like 14 years old. Now I'm 19, and if somebody looks at me and I tell them I never trained in my whole life, they would believe me much more than if I tell them that I've been training for even 1 year. Tell me what you think about it.
What do I think about what? About the fact that you've been training for 5 years?
Yeah, let's start with this. Throw some shit at me if you want, and then we get into more the details.
Throw some shit at you. I don't know what the issue is exactly yet.
Yeah, so I feel like, I've been putting a lot of work during all these years. And of course, when I was 14, I didn't have the experience. I was just going to the gym and doing one machine after the other in order of how they were put. So I didn't really know a lot. But then after the first 1 or 2 years, which, might have been a good excuse, meaning I had an excuse to not have results. But then I really started knowing stuff, and still I didn't get results. I used to study a lot, how I should eat, and read books about how to work out. Yeah, man, I was reading books about nutrition, working out, and all that kind of shit. I was really into it, YouTube videos, and trying to figure out ways to get bigger. And still, every year I was saying, this year is my year. This year I'm gonna do 100 kilos bench. This year I'm gonna do 16 pull-ups, muscle up, and whatever the fuck. And I still was always underachieving my goals. Because before I had the excuse of, well, I was playing basketball, I was doing a lot of cardio, while I was not eating, which is a fact, and well, this and that. But for whatever fucking reason, I couldn't still figure out why the fuck am I not getting bigger. Like, with all the effort I put and all of that.
So now I see what you mean. I don't want to be the one to give you the exact answers, but I want you to give you some food for thought. If,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, a kid would come up to you and will tell you, hey, David, you know what? I've been starting my own business. I've been researching for the last 5 years. I've been reading a lot of books. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I've been trying this. I've always set the goals of making 10K per month, but the last 5 years I've been always underachieving, and I can't find exactly what I'm doing wrong, and I'm demotivated and all of this, and now it's sitting nowhere. What would you say to him?
Look, usually the person that is saying this knows the answer more. Because if I tell you my view, still, you don't know what is inside of me, you don't really know what happened. I can describe it, but getting outside advice on this is very hard because they don't know the details. They've not been in the workouts like I have for 5 years. So I know the answer to this more than anybody else, I guess. Now with hindsight, I could have some things I could say. I believe in all of these years, the main thing I didn't do is gaining weight. And that was a psychological block on the fact that I didn't want to gain weight. And you see me always saying now I'm fat, and as soon as I gain a few kilos, that sounds like a bitch thing, but it is in some way. But I had this fucking mental block that I used to start the bulk, maybe gain 5 to 6 kilos, and then, oh shit, I'm too fat, I need to cut. Oh shit, it's almost summer, I cannot just go to summer like this. I need to have the abs. And so I would always cut, but what is there to cut? Right? I would get back to being skinny, and that's it. Very, very little progress. I don't think the gym in and of itself, like you see me working out, you can always do better and always try to, but I believe it's not the main bottleneck in my case because I've always been working, let's say, harder than an average person. Now, of course, you can always do more, but I wasn't doing that bad. And I believe nutrition was the main thing. I just had this mental block of I don't want to gain weight. Whereas now, it's kind of like I want to gain more weight because I know that this was the only thing that probably stopped me. And that's why now I want to get to 90 and ideally even more. And I look forward to it because even if I lose some abs, I don't care. Because I know in natural bodybuilding, this is pretty much what you need to do. And I saw that also by seeing other people like, Costas, maybe you're watching this video, you inspire me. And all these people, you can understand what you have to do and how hard it is to do it. What do you think of what I said so far?
But you pretty much give the answer to yourself.
Yes, I did. And so end of the podcast. No, okay. No, but the thing is, I did, but at the same time, I'm like, every year, like I said, I would try to give myself an answer and then still fail. Every year I said, okay, I know it. Last year I did these mistakes, and this year I know everything I need to know. This year I'm going to improve because I have everything on point. And then I wouldn't. Now, this time I can actually say yes. I mean, this time, I'm working out with people that know something like you, and I'm working out well. I have the diet on point, the sleep kind of on point, not that bad. I mean, it could be a little bit better, but it's kind of on point. And all of this. So I guess this year actually is the year. But I said that so many times that I'm like, is that actually going to be the year, or am I just fooling myself and deluding myself into thinking that I can do it and shit like that?
Do you think that deluding yourself and believing that you can actually do it is a bad or a good thing?
It's a good thing, but like I said, if you do it for your whole life and you die before you, like, the thing is, if you do it for some time and then you actually get it, then delusion was good because it got you to where you want to be. But it's getting to a point that it feels like delusion is just stupidly deluding yourself and just with no purpose. Because it looks like it's not serving me any purpose because I still am where I am and I'm not where I want to be.
Okay, so there are many factors you need to consider in that thing. I mean, like, even as example for setting realistic expectations, because many kids, many people want to start the gym and expecting the first 3, 6 months, 1 year to achieve their dream body, to look like a very famous guy or has a very famous and very good looking body. They see daily on Instagram, on the social media, where they promote all of these crazy images, and you say to yourself, okay, if I go to the gym and I train for 6 months, 1 year, I'm going to become like that guy. Meanwhile, things are not so simple. That's not how reality works. You can't get to someone else's level only within 1 or within a couple of years, meaning that you don't know what the everyday routine of the other guy is looking like, or even comparing to yourself to the other guy is a very bad thing to do because he's another guy. He has different genetics, he has different lifestyle, different everything. So you shouldn't really compare yourself to other people, and it's a thing that I see every day on social media with all of those crazy profiles, with all of those crazy physiques. And I think that many people set very unrealistic goals, if I can frame it that way.
But you said it's not realistic, so take someone like random famous person like David Lade. He did a good transformation, so many people think they can do it. Like, is that realistic or what? Because he's real, so I'd say it's realistic.
Yeah, you literally gave the perfect example with David Lade, because he used to be a very famous fitness influencer. I don't know if he still is and what he's doing with his life. And he had a literally crazy physique with the wide shoulders, very lean, year around, growing, lifting crazy weights, 300 something deadlift, 180 kilos bench, which were crazy numbers, especially for the physique, his age and everything else he was doing. And it literally made many young kids, many young people set him as a goal, as a target. Meanwhile, I think in many cases that's pretty unrealistic. Why? Because very simply you are not David Lade. You don't have his genetics. You don't have his routine. Maybe he was just a rich guy who the only thing he had to do was to train and eat and sleep and repeat the same process.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I mean, the main thing that concerns me after all these years, I'm kind of like, okay, man, like it's just my genetics, and I have this thought of it's my genetics, I cannot do anything about it. But the thought of the genetic, I want to talk about this because now, on the other hand, I believe that this is a thought that many people have, that they let these thoughts stop them. And so I want to hear your opinion on this, on people that say, oh, okay, it's my genetics, so I'm just not that person that can get it. Because then it gets to the other side of the spectrum. Some people think that they can do more than what they can do. Some people, maybe they're stopped by the genetics idea, and then they don't do what they might have done. So what are your thoughts on this?
For sure, I see exactly what you mean now. When I talk about genetics, I don't mean to put as a limiting factor to your capabilities or to the body, to the physique you can achieve. I'm also saying it in a way that you shouldn't compare yourself to other physiques because you have completely different genetics. Even if you reach at his weight and his numbers, his lifting at the gym, you will look completely different because you have different genetics. Now, I don't view the genetics in general as a limiting factor. You will see many crazy physiques that were achieved naturally to the point where even me and you wouldn't believe that they're natural. So yeah, in general, I don't think that the genetics is a limiting factor. I think that many people use that as an excuse, as you said, where they say, okay, I'm natural, I've reached my genetics potential. No, you haven't, and you will never reach your potential because there are always improvements you can make even if you are the best on the world and you have the best natural physique in the world.
Okay. And one important thing I want to say, one time I was talking about this genetics thing and one person told me, does that thought serve you any purpose? And that is a smart thing to say because you need to think, it's not about what is true, it's about what thought is useful for you. You believing that you have a bad genetic, whether that's real or not, which is subjective anyway, just the belief that you choose to accept that you have a bad genetic is going to let you push less. Because you're going to approach the gym by knowing that you're going to fail and therefore you're actually going to fail. It's the so-called self-perpetuating prophecy, meaning you believe in something so it's going to happen because your belief in that makes you act upon it, from thoughts come actions. So you need to be careful in what you put in your mind, not just at the gym, but in every aspect of life. So I do think that my genetics is shit though, but at the same time, I don't want to have this thing in my mind. Like I just choose to refuse it and just instead of thinking my genetics is shit, think, okay, what else can I do to improve my situation? Because also you said many interesting things. When I told you, okay, I'm not getting many results, you were like, okay, did you train for those 5 years with your sleep on point, nutrition on point, and training on point, everything on point? So can you touch upon that and maybe give in a quick second what you would tell to a person that wants to have results? What are the main things that they should keep in check all the time?
Yeah, this is exactly what I plan to touch upon, and this is exactly the same reason why I brought you the question that if someone would tell you the same thing about business, what would you say to him? Very simply, you would tell him, okay, when you say you are working, what have you been doing exactly? Have you been doing it outreach to clients? Have you been closing clients? Have you been making sales? And you would ask him all of those different questions to see exactly what he means when he refers to work. And the same thing goes to the gym. I can tell you that I've been working out for 5 years, okay. But what have you been actually doing these 5 years? As you mentioned before, was everything on point? If you could give a percentage from 0 to 100%, which percentage would you say that is the effort that you put into not only the gym, but in transforming your body in general? Because, I said before that you don't need 1 year, you can't set unrealistic expectations in 1 year, but the truth is that if you work effectively, and if you do everything on point, in 1 year you can see crazy results. 1 year is a very long time to see very good results in your physique and very big changes. So working out are completely different things.
Yeah. So the reason why now I can say that even if I worked for whatever amount of years, I'm still doing it because I still believe that this is the right year is because throughout the years I gained knowledge. I gain more expertise, and the knowledge allows me to understand what I was doing wrong. So, what are the things that you would tell to someone who has less knowledge and you have to give them a quick speech on the main things that they should keep on track?
I get exactly your question. It's a very nice question. The same thing goes with business. You don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to know what's the perfect diet to follow, what macronutrients should I eat in each meal, should I make 3, 4, 5 meals. All of those things, okay, they are cool, they're nice, but they will play such a small role in transforming your physique. Meaning that there are way more important factors you need to consider, which pretty much we all know. In terms of, we all know approximately that you have to eat enough, that you have to eat enough protein, you have to rest enough, you have to progress in the gym, progress in terms of training harder each week, making more reps, putting on more weight to the bar, to the machines. In terms of progressing, I mean, like, those things are pretty much what everyone knows, even if he has never gone to the gym before. So you don't need to have any crazy knowledge in order to achieve an okay physique, a very good looking physique. So you don't need any crazy knowledge, just you need to do what you already know.
And it's actually true. Now, with hindsight, I can say it's true. But I don't know why back then I had this closed mindset. I was thinking there was some crazy thing I needed to know, where it's all simple stuff. Now, I mean, back then, if I really put my mind into it, I knew, okay, you want to get more muscle, eat more. Like, it's not that hard to understand. But people kind of tend to overcomplicate it and stuff like that, and get into books and science. Like I said, I started doing research about insulin, sensibility to insulin resistance, and all that kind of complex stuff, which, okay, might be useful, but you don't really need it. I mean, the stuff is very, very simple, and it's pretty fun on how simple it is.
So yeah, the advice I would give to someone who says that he doesn't have enough knowledge is that you just need to do what you already know in terms of training. Okay, what you need to do at the gym. Go start with a training plan, whether it's training 3 times per week, 4 times per week. Create a plan, create a schedule, and just stick to it and progress into it. When I say progress, I mean that you need to keep track of what you did last week and just try to do something more the next week.
So just to make it brief, the stuff is really, really simple, like every other time. Just do good work, good nutrition, and good sleep. That's all you need, and it's that simple. I lost so much time on fucking bullshit that you don't need. You just need to do those 3 things well. And we're gonna touch upon fitness stuff more in the future, because this is part of our life anyway. And for this episode, I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And I will prove you that even bad genetics and all of these things I had in the past doesn't mean anything. I will prove you with my own transformation.